Peace, y'all. It's your boy, Self Cyphadeen, aka Julian Harris. So, as Self Cyphadeen, I'm about to introduce you to an aspect of Julian Harris. But before we get to that, before we get to the man behind the man, I want to promote the artist party that I am co-hosting with the beloved Hotep the artist. Okay, this show has been going on for some time. We took a 2-year hiatus. Each show was to the brim. We went to 720s. We was in Homewood during our Harambe event, and we also did the New Bohemian before they switched up. You know what I'm saying? So we really got around. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of artists that missed the Shadow Lounge days, we're not trying to say that we replaced the Shadow Lounge, but we definitely know the nostalgic feeling behind what magic was felt at those times. And we trying to recreate a dimensional gateway to those particles through having shows like this where we promote other artists. Artists get paid to perform. They don't happen very often. So you can market yourself as a young professional. You can know that you're going to meet the really cool young people out who are working and creating, and that's what it's really about. So, that I want to make sure y'all know about that. You need to come. It's going to be at the Homewood Library. It's going to be dope on the 7th. 1 to 4. Secondly, wasting time. Level Up Studios. I work here as well. Okay, every Monday from 7:30 to 9:30, I teach martial science, which is a mixture of Wing Chun and Hung Ga. I break it down into a science. All right, because people hear so much about martial arts, and martial arts is legitimate. But when you hear the word science, you understand that it can be broken down methodically. And I understand it in a way that I can break it down methodically. Woo, did I use that word? I can use a high level of methodology. All right. So I've been doing Kung Fu for over 25 years. I started when I was 7 years old. I first started with my dad. Then I trained under Sifu Stacy Adams in Philadelphia. From that point on, I've just been studying on my own, practicing. I went through a couple different schools, but, I just been really keeping true to the Kung Fu. And Kung Fu is really important to me. Wing Chun and Hung Ga were both born in the Southern Shaolin Temple that was destroyed by the Qing Dynasty. They both were created in a time period of revolution, and both were designed and used as a form of revolution. And that's one of the major reasons why I teach it. It's not just self-defense. It's martial science. Teach you how to master yourself within your parameters, limitations. And that's what I want to talk about today, limitations. So I got this picture that I'm working on, right? As Julian likes to draw and paint, you know what I'm saying? And I've been working on this one image right here. So I got this dude, he's going to be like some type of ancient mage. And I'm going to have him on this bigger board here. And you see I have these lines right here, these limiting lines that help me organize my thoughts. This is 4x4. That's 8x8. That should make it really easy. This is what it's supposed to look like a whole. He stands here with a floating temple in the background. By will alone, I set my mind in motion. I didn't know how to ask for what I couldn't understand, a field beyond my vision. You see it's kind of floating in the shadow here. Got a couple cross-hatching techniques I might use to keep me organized. But the whole idea is that, because at first I just wanted to paint, and I was having a really hard time doing it. I just was intimidated by the process, and I was using a different canvas that was like, you know how they take old wood and just mash it together, you just get all these crazy chips and shit? Well, that's what happened to me. And so I realized I couldn't take the pencil, because I like to draw on pencil and then go over it and paint. You know what I mean? But I couldn't do that because it was irregular. The surface was irregular. And so I pretty much was, I need a different surface. So I got that surface I just showed to you. This one right here, which I like way more, is smoother. It'll be easier to imitate these images. But limitation, I needed limitation. So I create those lines, because sometimes, even out of all of this, I haven't even gotten the painting done yet. You know what I mean? I still had to do the work to get the work done. And sometimes people forget that you got to do work to get the work done. You got to set up and prep. You can't just be a rapper. You can't just whatever. You got to put work in to help build your foundation. And this right here is my foundation for the picture that doesn't even exist yet, but is about to. You're about to be a part of this experience. So just wanted to say, you better come to the artist party. Better go on Facebook. Hit I'm going. You know what I'm saying? And stay tuned and see how I bring you this wonderful art. Deuces.